What's going on, y'all? This is Quamon Fowler, the Texas tenor, coming to you with a talk basically where I want to deal with zeroing in on what you need to work on. Okay? Um, the thing that brought this about, this particular topic, I was just teaching lessons, and a lot of times I get questions. People say they don't know what to practice on, or they don't know what to work on because it's so much. And so, what one thing that I kind of have to get in there and figure out uh, what the deal is in terms of what you really need, and of course, you can establish that two ways. Well, you can establish it a few different ways, I guess. First, you want to see what is your immediate, uh, what do you call it, needs, or what are your what are some of the immediate things that you have to do? Where it's like if you are part of a band, at your school, is there some music that you got to play and learn for that particular band? If so, then of course a good place to start, work on that music. And I don't know if you not getting a good feel or a good sound for the group. If you're playing in a big band, then you need to work on that. You need to work on your sound. You need to work on long tones. You need to focus on other musician sounds that you like, and then try to imitate what they do. Pay attention to their vibrato. Pay attention to their articulation. Pay attention to their feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing you can zero in on, if you're trying to get your sound and feel together. You know what I'm saying? One thing you can do too is like take note of your thoughts, because the thoughts or the inklings that you get of, man, I really don't understand this, or I really need to do this. Write down those questions, or write down those things on your cell phone. Make yourself a note, or record something, or email yourself, something like that, because the very thing that you have a question about, or the very thing that you're intrigued by, is like it's a clue that could lead to something deeper that you really need to unwrap and really get into. But a lot of times we get these ideas and we get these inklings and stuff like that, but we're so busy that we don't follow that out. We don't dig in there and see what that really is and what it looks like. And from there, you can kind of focus on, okay, specific areas that you need to work on. And then what'll happen is you got to implement. You have to get time where you can implement those things. Okay. So that's one way. Let me give y'all another example. Let's say if you are playing in the band and you got some solos. All right. So if you're playing in the band and you have some solos and you got to learn those changes. Of course, a lot of times, if it's not an original song, and it's a standard, or you can find it somewhere on YouTube, or you can get it on iTunes or something like that. Go and get some other references of that song. Listen to some other soloists playing that song, and then get some ideas from them. So from you getting ideas from them, you can first of all, you got to learn the changes. You got to memorize the changes. And if you can play piano, it'd be good to play the changes on piano so that you can get a better understanding. Like I said in other blogs and stuff, Lessons in Jazz Webshed, a good thing to do when you want to learn a song too is, if you got some time, make a play along. Or if, implement it in something like, I don't know, Band in a Box. I usually do that sometimes. I just put the changes in there and just loop it, play over and over. It's just so I could get it really embedded in me. I do that, or I'll play the tunes with other cats. I call up other musicians, say, hey man, let's play this tune, let's work on this. And so the more time you get to really go over the changes and hear it and all of that. Of course, when it's time to play, when you go back to your band setting, your group, you'll have a better feel for your solo. And so those are like things that you can do for immediate things that's required of you. I mean, that's like short term, but long term, when you want to zero in on stuff that you need to work on, a lot of times you can listen to other people and you hear, man, they sound good. Man, they got it together in this area and that area. Boy, I got a lot of work to do. You get on YouTube, you see all these great musicians and stuff that they doing, and everybody has their own gift and everybody has their own area that they're strong in. But the thing about it, that's natural for them, and it took time. That was crafted into them over time. You got to learn their story. But what we do is we see all these stories, and all of these stories, people's lives and their plan and all of that got good stuff in it, but it can overwhelm us because it make us feel like, man, I ain't got nothing going on. But that's where you got to stop focusing so much on the broad picture and what everybody else is doing and focus on you. You got to record yourself. You got to watch your own videos. You got to listen to your own music. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about what it is as you analyze yourself, what you need to work on when you listen to it. Man, I didn't play that lick right. I need to connect better on these type of chords, or I need to work on this type of meter when I play because I don't feel that right. You know what I'm saying? And so what you do from recording yourself, watching your own videos and analyzing what you're doing, you can kind of see, okay, I'm not strong in this, and write that down. Write down the areas that you discover that you don't have it together. And from there, like if, for instance, let me give you another instance. If it is a thing where you don't play well over chord changes, you know, like the way you play over chord changes. Okay, so I have videos in the site, you know, that I put up and together about outlining chord changes, you know. So you can start with 1 3 5 7 and start with the thirds too. You, of course, once you know the root, you can move on and play the third, you know. And then if you just play the roots all the way through and you can memorize it, then play the thirds all the way through, then play the fifths all the way through, then play the seventh all the way through. Then you can also play like 3 5 7, you know, and 3 5 7 9, you know. So stick with that, and once you really work on outlining the arpeggios within the changes, then you can start implementing you know, learning some licks and learning some phrases from other people and putting them in there. And mind you, like I said, you can make a play along, or you can get some of those songs that you want to play and play it with some other guys to help work on, you know, getting your improvising together. And ask questions too. Ask questions to piano players, you know, ask people who are more experienced, you know, what you do. Even like being a part of this site, you know, you can look in here and see what it is that I need, and like you can find something that's gonna hit home. And what you got to do in terms of from the information that you receive and stuff that you learn from the site, that little small nugget that hits home, you're just like, man, I gotta go and work on this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just getting overloaded with a bunch of information, get the piece that really hits you and then work that, develop that, unfold that, really dive into it. And then from there, you can go back after you've worked on and say, okay, now I can go deeper on that. Okay, what else I need? You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But what you got to do, don't get overwhelmed. You know, find the thing that you need to do and start working on it. It's like you got to be like a bulldog. You get a hold of to a stake and just latch onto that thing and don't let go, you know, until you are ready to really move on to the next thing. And that's how you're going to make progress. Don't be overwhelmed by all the stuff that's out there, because everybody got a story, you know, and it didn't happen overnight. It took time. So it's the same process that we have to go through, but you got to focus on your own plan. You got to listen to yourself, record yourself, video yourself, Everything you do, constantly analyze. And as you do that, of course, our mind works where we got a built-in mechanism that'll tell us, okay, we need to improve on this. I don't like that. I don't like this. Oh, this is cool, but I don't like that. We'll critique ourselves, and we're our own worst critics sometimes, but at the same time, we're constantly, pushing ourselves. As we look at other people and listen to other things, it'll give us a goal to reach. All right. So that's it. Okay. So we'll see y'all next time.